Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Modern Malayali. This is the podcast where we explore what it means to be a Malayali in today's world. So, if you haven't done so already, please do follow, rate, and review the podcast because it really does help the podcast grow. In today's episode, we're diving into how boys and girls are raised so differently in our families. From curfews to chores to expectations about career, marriage, and even behavior, it's almost like we've been handed two different rule books at birth. And to explore this topic with me, I have a wonderful guest with me here today, Sneha. She's someone who's also grown up in a Malayali household like so many of us, and she's got some great insights and stories about what it means to grow up as a Malayali and how girls and boys' experiences can be so different. So, welcome to the podcast, Sneha. Do you want to say hi?
Hello, everybody.
Thank you so much for coming onto the podcast to talk about this. I think it's such a great topic to talk about. It's also a really important topic. Sometimes we don't even realize the tiny everyday differences that can make such a huge impact later on. It can be things like how boys go out for dinner with friends and nobody will ask a single question. But if you're a girl and you say, I'm just going out to meet a friend, it immediately becomes like a full-blown family meeting. Or even if there's family visiting and somehow the girls always end up in the kitchen while the boys are just chilling on the couch with the uncles. And the thing is, it's not like our parents or our aunties and uncles are being unfair on purpose. It's just what they grew up seeing too. But these small everyday things quietly teach us a lot about what's expected of boys and girls. But together it all shapes how we see ourselves and how we see each other as well. So let's get into it. So Sneha, growing up, did you ever notice small differences in how you were treated compared to your other male cousins in your family or just other males in general in the Malayali community?
Yeah, I was an only child as I grew up.
Mm.
But that being said, being with cousins or people within the community itself, I noticed there was a big difference, how girls are treated versus guys. It's definitely a segregation of what's expectation wise versus a male or a female. Um, which I think maybe just passed down from just generation. But it's just innately just in everyone to be like, oh, you're a girl, just go do this. Oh, he's a boy, he shouldn't be doing that, or he doesn't know how to do
Mm.
that. Like that kind of conversation.
Yeah.
Um, so yes, it's definitely obvious. I don't know how it is now for the modern children, how it is, but definitely as growing up, it was definitely still prevalent even in this generation.
Hmm. Okay, so let's start talking about chores, for example. How do you
Mhm.
think chores were sort of split up between boys and girls?
So I noticed growing up, especially when, just keep in mind, I was an only child, so every Jolie was my Jolie. But when you step out of that, like from the house, it comes out very obvious where it's like, oh, cooking, now come help. You know what I mean? Come help in the kitchen.
Yeah,
Cleaning, oh, that's a girl's job. Come help.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like things like something to do with folding or organizing. That's automatically a girl's job. But the thing is like heavy lifting or like, oh, move this table over here, that's
Mm.
a boy's job. But like, or as an example, someone came from the airport or, you have to go
Mm.
pick up somebody at the car, that's a boy's job. And it's like, the thing is now getting older, I don't need to carry anything heavy anymore because of my back. But it's weird because it's not like one or the other can't do the other's job,
Yeah, exactly.
but automatically we're just told, okay, girls have to do all this. And in my personal opinion, I'm not saying boys don't do them a lot, but it's very like minimal tasks, and then if they
Mm.
sit down it's fine.
Yeah,
Whereas like if a girl sits down, it's like, oh, you're just too much just sitting there.
yeah, you're
So
being
what can you
lazy.
do? Right. Like keep busy and just be like, do something. But if a boy says it's fine. I mean, those are comments I've heard, if that makes sense. It's
Mm.
like a bunch of girls will say it's like, oh, tomorrow in the night, you know what I mean? It's like, go do something. But like boys will be on their phone, do nothing. It's like, they don't know anything, you know? So let them just sit there. It's like,
Yeah.
what? What?
These are things that are important for both genders to know, right? Like cooking,
Exactly.
cleaning. And even the things like you said, going to pick up guests from the airport or like doing the heavy lifting. I mean, girls can also help with that.
Exactly. It's crazy. It's like that. I mean, in my house, obviously I'm just an only child. So my dad made me do, I guess, quote unquote, like what boys would do. And so
Mm,
then it's like I was used to like doing different tasks.
yeah. But I wanted to go back and talk about what happens when you're at a family gathering. And in my family, I always feel like the girls are always expected to help in the kitchen and to serve the guests and things like that. And the boys are always sort of left to just chill or to just be entertained or whatever. It's the same with you guys as well?
So being living in America, I don't see it as much. Usually it's just the elder women that I usually, as growing up, like saw go into the kitchen, even including my own mom. But they never
Mm,
put that on the kids or like teenagers or anything like that, and everyone's just doing their own thing. Where I usually saw it was when going to India. I used to go
yeah.
to India like for the summertime or for like as I got older and got married. And it became more prevalent that it's like, oh, there's like a segregation here. It's like right when the woman enters the house as like a guest, they
Mm,
say their hellos and then immediately just go to the kitchen. It's like that's like where women have the conversation,
yes.
um which is weird because and thing is like even once I got married and we were visiting people's houses, my first thing was, oh, sit in the living room, right? It's like
Mm,
because here in America if you're a guest, it's just you just for everyone stands in the living room. It's
yeah,
like
exactly. Yeah.
if they have to prepare food, I've seen like for a quick minute or so maybe they'll go to the kitchen but come back. Like I want to say prepare, it's like most of the time here that I've noticed is everyone prepares the food already. Like maybe husband and wife prepares it together. So then
Mm,
both people have the opportunity to sit in the living room. But
yeah.
I feel like out of peer pressure as I got older, I'm like, oh, all the women are going to the kitchen and I'm the only female in this living room. Okay, let me go stand over there too. Uh,
Yeah.
but in terms of like that, there is that segregation.
Yeah, I actually see that a lot as well in India. And I felt it was very awkward when I just got married and we were visiting my husband's whole, like his side of the family.
Hmm.
And all of his aunties and all of his girl cousins would just be, like you said, segregated in the kitchen. And that's where they're chilling and socializing and talking. And I was like, am I supposed to go there as well? I don't really want to go in the kitchen, but I feel odd sitting here in the living room with all the men. But
Right.
yeah. But then my husband was just like, okay, if you're gonna go, I'll come with you. So
Exactly.
yeah. Have you ever noticed? I don't know if you've heard this comment, but I've heard in my family where if a boy is helping out with those things, like going to the kitchen and fetching tea and coffee or whatever, then I always hear my aunts or my uncles say, "Oh, what a nice boy! He's such a nice boy, so helpful, and look at him, and all boys should be like him." And I'm just like, but it's bare minimum, to help out and to help with these things. But
Oh,
they made like such a big fuss is made whenever boys start helping with girly jobs.
1000%. And thing is, like, as I got older, I'll comment back. And thing is, it's like, it makes no logical sense because it's like you just do the bare minimum. And the பாத்திரம்
Mm,
எடுக்கணும். Wow, பாத்திரம் எடுக்கணும். Wow, 100%. It's like, it's like the bare minimum. I'm like, this is like, for like, okay, normal naturally, like when we sit at a table, right? And
mm,
all our plates are there, we finish dinner, and then we take our plates to the sink, right? And it's
mm.
like sometimes, like in our culture, naturally we'll take the plate for the other person, bring it to the
Yeah,
sink, right?
yeah.
And a lot of times when we're at a guest house, we also bring it to the sink. I don't know, like it's just a natural thing, right?
Mm.
Males usually just sit there and just like the plate is taken from their
Yes,
dining room table.
yes.
And then I've noticed that it's like if a boy gets up and puts the brings it to the sink and everything, it's like, oh, wow, you're doing so good, Monet. Like, oh, I wish my son was like you. I was like, what? It's like, but like if a girl does it, there's like nothing. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah,
it's one thing either it's like you praise them all or you don't praise anyone. It's like this
yeah.
like basic thing. It's just weird because it's just like, would I be complimented for doing a male's job? Do you know what I mean? It's
Mm,
like
yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
so personally, but like outside it's like
Mm,
if I do like a male's job, I want to say male's job, like lifting up anything heavy or doing the
mm.
driving thing, it's like I'm given like a label of like, oh, she's too forward, or like, oh, as a girl, she shouldn't be doing that. And I'm just like, I'm just lifting up this chair. It's not that big of a deal. It's like,
Yeah,
But yes, no, 1000%. And it gets me so frustrated, especially as you get older. It's like I feel frustrated because it's just like it's one thing. It's like if they went above and beyond. Yes, I believe anyone should get praise for that. You know what I mean? For doing something like any out of their way for anything, like general.
Yeah.
But if it's like a simple task, and now I just shut them down, and I was like, I'll just like sarcastically be like, "Wow, they moved a plate. Good job." And then of course, like all these like aunties' faces will get like super angry. It's just like, but I'm like, think about what you're logically saying right now. It's like you're praising someone for doing the bare minimum.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Okay, let's talk about freedom and friendships when it comes to boys and girls in the Malayali community. Did you
Sure.
ever notice how boys around you, like your cousins or even your friends, seem to have slightly different freedoms or responsibilities growing up?
Yeah, in terms of for freedom wise, there was definitely in my house, in terms of who you're going out with, what time you're coming back, and so forth. A big
Mm,
struggle, like which it was like a tolerance I had to grow with my parents was how long I would come like be outside and stay
mm,
outside. At one point it was like, oh, when it turns dark, you have to be back home before it turns dark. Then as I got older, college and all that stuff, it was like, oh, you have to be home by 9 o'clock. And even when I started working, that was the case. But then I noticed that, like, for instance, like my cousins or other people that I knew, it's like, oh, you're like a boy. They didn't really care. They're like, okay, where are you going in general? But like, they're like, okay, go, and then come back. Like, they could just come back, whatever. They'll like get scolded, but like, it's not the same. It's not like all these 500 questions before they leave. You know what I mean? It's just
yeah,
kind of like you go, you come back. Oh, അവരാണുങ്ങളല്ലേ അവരങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. I'm like, what? It's like, and I understand, like, I understand concerns in terms of safety, like, but I think
yeah,
that's applicable for both male and females. You know what I mean? There's bad
exactly.
people in the world in general, but it's like, it's not creating an environment. I know you want to be as safe as possible for a female because a lot more problems happen with females, but it's always good just to keep it, equal for both because you want to also keep
Exactly.
your son safe. But
Yeah,
going outside, it was always like, who are you going with? When are you going? Where are you going? You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like, and then it's like, oh, you got like 30 minutes to do whatever you need to do and come back. Um, but as I got
yeah,
older, it was like more teaching my parents, like, hey, I'm now older. It's like, okay, other people have work too. Their shift only ends at this time. By the time we all like meet together and it's like talk, it's going to get a little bit late. It's
yeah,
not like I'm coming home like at a crazy time or anything. It's like not like 3 o'clock in the morning, like, oh, Sneha's still not here. But it's crazy. And the thing is, like, I don't know. The one thing I don't know is like for boys, like my parents, and I've noticed that for a lot of girl parents, their parents would stay up until they
mm,
got home.
yeah,
uh, and I was like, is this like normal? It's like, or is this just like a female thing or a male thing? But that also is like with the parents like concerned. They just want to like physically see that their child is home.
yeah,
But in terms of freedom, there is that. And then in terms of like just traveling, I I don't think there's not a single female, and if there is, man, your parents are awesome. It's like anytime you travel, you have to add on a bunch of things. Oh, I'm going with this girl, this girl, this girl, this girl, this girl, right?
mm,
And it's
yeah.
like if you mention one boy's name, it becomes a
Oh,
concern.
it's over. It's
Yeah,
over.
it's
You're
over.
not going.
It's like the boy's name better just translate to a girl's name, honestly, because it's not going to happen. But like I know it's like for boys, a lot of boys like they'll go traveling, they'll go all over the world, but their
Mm,
parents don't care if it's male, female. It's like they can just go. It's like, but for females, there's like so much precaution. And I feel like we have to. I don't know if you've seen like videos where it's like as a kid
mm,
you have to prepare the story and prepare everything and give this many business days and it has to be a good day to like in order to tell your parents, you know what I mean? Or it's
yeah.
like it's not, it's like it's no, it's not a go.
Yeah, my cousins and I know exactly what you're talking about. We had to beg our parents to let us go out. But our boy cousins did not have to go through that. It was a lot easier for them to go out, which was really, really unfair. But I like what
Right.
you were saying that if you're going to be strict, because yes, you're right, there are bad people in the world out there, you should be strict for both your sons and your daughters. It should be equal.
Exactly. And thing is, it's
Yeah.
like I don't think parents. And not saying that like, oh, how someone parents will make a child bad, but it's like then you're automatically instilling that information into also
Mm,
the boys. So meaning
yeah.
those comments of, as an example, as we get older, it's like, okay, we go outside, you know what I mean? Some people go clubbing. There's certain
Mm,
outfits they wear. When those kinds of like some like those topics come up, boys are also listening. And it's
yeah.
like they're also now thinking like, oh, so girls shouldn't be wearing that. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
and that's where those conversations of like, oh, because she was wearing this, this happened. Because she
Yeah.
was acting this way, this happened. And it's
Yeah.
like, if it's just equal, then it's like, then that mindset comes from everyone. It's like, this happens, everyone's equal. What happened is wrong. You know what I mean? It's not
Mm,
like it's because you're a female, it's because you're a male, because you're wearing this, because you're wearing that. That kind of conversation comes.
Yeah, that's actually really true. Yeah. And then there's also the extra layer of girls always have to be worried and concerned about their reputation if they do go out. Whereas boys don't really, I feel like parents are not too concerned about a guy's reputation if they're going out with friends or whatever it is they're doing.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like in terms of reputation wise, it's a even I think within kids, if that makes sense, there's a
Mm,
lot of reputation difference. It's like, oh, if a girl goes out too much, or if a girl has like too many boyfriends or is with guys, there's a reputation automatically put onto that girl. But
yeah.
like if it's the opposite and the guy has a bunch of friends that are girls, right? Or let's just say even if they're a Corey, you know what I mean? It's like that's not put on them. It's not like a heavy like, oh, okay, he's a bad person, or like, or oh, he's not gonna find that many girls, blah 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 blah. It's
Mm,
like it's the complete opposite. It's like a girl does one small thing, it becomes her whole like reputation. If a boy
yeah.
does it, it's like kind of like brushed off. It's like boys will be boys, that kind of
Yeah.
talk. And I'm like, what? It's like, what are you talking about? And it's all these things that people assume and like put on to like both the male and female. All the end goal is just to get married, because they think that, oh, no one's gonna marry you. It's like that
Exactly.
topic comes up, and I feel like that goes back to like females. You know what I mean? For in terms of
Yeah.
like marriage wise.
Yeah. I think it's really hard for guys to behave in a certain way that makes them not marriage material. But with
Right.
girls, it's so easy for one small thing to suddenly be like, oh, this is why you can't find a husband. Or this
No,
is why
one thousand
nobody's
percent.
going to want to marry you.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, it's quite messed up, honestly.
It is.
Yeah. I think there's also this pressure to maintain a certain image as well for boys and girls within the Malayali community. Like I've
Mm-hmm.
always felt like girls have to always be very polite and well behaved or like presentable, especially in front of relatives or towards people you're not so comfortable in front of. Whereas boys are taught to be more brave and take the front line, have more of a leadership role, be extroverted, talkative, social. Have you noticed anything like that?
Yeah, in terms of like in general, I know for myself, I'm kind of like the opposite of what is expected of girls. For instance, like my parents say I look like a homeless person most of the time. So the, in terms of like Moody and everything, and the thing is, it's like my parents, they're more like, hindi yan." It's like that kind of talk. But then once I go outside, it's there's that conversations like, oh, you should comb, like when I comb my hair is naturally curly. So then they're
Mm,
like, you should comb your hair, braid it. You look like a prandi. You know what I mean? Or it's like this presentation that I have to be perfect. Oh, you're Sneha, you're talking too much, or you're giving your opinion. You shouldn't do that.
mm,
It's not like I can't be forward. I have to be like
yeah,
this. I don't know how to the Malayalam word for it, but it's like, like, oh, pavam. You know what I mean? Like, ഞാനൊന്നും
yeah,
പറയത്തില്ല. ഞാനിവിടെ ചുമ്മാ വായി നോക്കിയിരിക്കും. You know what I mean? It's like, no, no, no. It's like, if I see something wrong, I'm going to say it. But because I'm a female, I've noticed that it's like, oh, because it's if a male counterpart did the same exact thing, it wouldn't
mm,
be a problem. And thing
yeah,
is, it's like I've noticed for boys, like for instance, like as an example, my husband, I've noticed that people from the outside, what they just look at is not what they look at in terms of for me. They look at like, oh, okay, he has a good job. It's like, oh,
mm,
he's doing this at Parli. You know what I mean? It's like, then, like, okay, overall, as a man, he's good. But
mm,
for a female, they look at you both like how you talk, how you present
mm,
yourself. It's like,
yeah,
on top of that, your job and everything else. they look at like all those things. But like males, it's just like, I don't know how to explain it. It's more, what is your job? Are you making enough money? And
Mm.
then like more like that leadership, like, oh, what are you doing? But for females, I feel like it's 500 things, and then they just bring like, oh, not good enough. Sorry.
Yeah. Which, I mean, to be fair, for guys as well, that's also a lot of pressure. You know, there's always that pressure to make sure that people accept the career that you have? Are you making enough money to provide for your family? Those are all kinds of unrealistic expectations as well, which I don't think is really relevant in today's day and age. I think those kind of expectations should be put on both males and females going forward.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Do you think that girls are often expected to just listen first and not argue, but guys are always given more say when it comes to family discussions or decisions?
Oh, yeah, 1000%. It, I don't even think most of the time when I see people talk, they don't even look at the girl when they're talking. And
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I'm not kidding. This is not even just like in the Indian community. I notice if I go to the store and,
Yeah.
for instance, if you go to an electronics store to buy a fridge, they look at my
Mm,
husband first. I'm the one who looked up
mm,
everything because like I wanted a certain fridge, but it was like they'll look at my husband first and then like asking him the questions. And even yan സംസാരിക്കുമ്പോഴല്ലേ എന്റെ മുഖത്ത് നോക്കത്തില്ല. Like they don't look at my face, and I'm like they're still looking at my husband. And this also happens in the Indian community. It's like I notice that more with uncles, not necessarily auntie minded, but like uncles, like they, even if some females are talking, they just still look at the counterpart male. They're not
yeah.
looking at the female. I'm like, that first of all rude. But second of all, it's just like I'm bringing up a valid point, but I don't know where this thing of like, oh, males make the decision. And I've noticed with the older generation, I think it's
Mm,
ironic, to be completely honest. It's like, yes, the male is making the decision in front of other people, but then if you notice, a lot of the times both husband and wife are discussing it behind the doors. It's like, and I've noticed it's like, yes, maybe the female and male are like talking about it. Like an auntie will tell the husband, "Oh, say this, this, and this," but
mm,
in person, it'll be the uncle will just talk, and the auntie will
mm.
look like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I don't know, പറഞ്ഞില്ല," like that kind of thing. I'm like, what is this psychological trip we're going through? It's like if you have an opinion, you have an opinion, but it's like this thing is like, oh, if my husband says it or if this man says it, it's more valid. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, if you say it, it's also fine. But it also depends on the type of people you're around. Because I feel like our generation, if a male or female says something, they're not like looking at it any different, you know?
Yeah.
But like older generation, they really do like, if I say something and a male says something, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, good idea, Monet. Good idea, Monet." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that kind of logic, which doesn't logic
Exactly.
at all.
Exactly. In my family, if I were to speak up about certain things, like, oh, how come the boys are just sitting on the couch and how come they're not helping us? And I've done this many, many times. I will always get the death stare from my aunts or from my uncles. And people will normally just ignore me. They don't even like answer my question. But if, like, for example, my brother or one of my male cousins had to say the exact same thing, like, oh, how come all the girls are sitting in the kitchen? How about we go up and help them? Then everyone will be like, oh, such a good boy. Yeah, yeah, that's so true. You're so progressive. This is how it should be.
No, it's crazy, and it's like the only tactic, if anyone's listening, is that if you're ever in this situation, and the best thing to do, I've learned because I'm exactly in your spot, Ria, I've gotten the death stare 500 times. So then now, yeah, nice to almost like XYZ person. Oh, can you do this for me for a second? Oh, this person, can you do this task? And then it's like if you assign them the task, then nobody's saying nothing. It's like because the logic, you're right. It's like the logic of, oh, you're not doing anything, now figure out how to help. That's like, oh, like you can't say that. But like if you
Mm.
just I've learned this from like saying it 5,000 times and getting 5,000 death stares. This is only a recent thing I've learned, is that like, oh, just assign them the task. It's like, oh, can you go do this for me? Oh, wow, good job. Okay, great. It's like that kind of thing is good. But I don't understand. It's the switch up. It's like, oh, one person's modern and the other person's like, oh, you're talking too much. It's just like, why? Why?
I'm gonna start joking around with my brothers and my younger cousins, and I'm just gonna be like, if you're not helping in the kitchen, nobody's gonna want to marry you.
No
Because
facts. Like it's funny, but to be honest, it's like true too. You know what I mean? Like I'm glad that like females have a higher expectation of what they want from a male. You know what I mean? I feel
mm,
like when we, well, or at least for me, like when I got married, it's like, oh, just like the bare minimum. But like a lot of females have like, oh, you're gonna help me in the kitchen. You know what I mean? And if you don't know how to
yeah,
cook, it's like randa, randa. Or at least if like both people don't know how to cook, that's one thing. But like, you
yeah,
know it's funnier to put that. I mean, the cousins will take it as a joke, but what's it called? It'll be funny how the aunties and uncles are like, "What? My son won't get married?" It's like that'll be funny.
yeah. Another really big thing I think is body image, especially
Mhm.
when you're very young. I feel like girls are constantly reminded to watch their weight, to stay slim, to be fair, to look presentable, which we did already talk about. And boys always have this pressure to be like strong and well built and tough and macho.
Yeah, like with males, I've noticed that they get, which like just like with females, it sucks to be honest, is
Mm,
they get two things. Like if they're like this stick like a kamba, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I can break you with like a breath. That kind of samsariya.
yeah,
Then it's like, oh, if you're overweight, oh, you're like an Anna. You know what I mean? I'm like, dang,
yeah,
it's like, why you gotta insult the boy like that? It's like they all the boys have to have a certain aesthetic. It's like you have to be a little bit, when I say thick, meaning like, have to have a little bit of meat on you, but you can't
mm,
be too fat. But you
mm.
also
You
can't
have to
be
have
too
muscle.
skinny. Right. And you have to have muscle. It's like and I'm just like, but why? And thing is, I do feel, I mean, obviously generations pass, but it's like I still feel that boys still get made fun of a lot harsher now because
Mm,
girls also got made fun of. Like I used to get made fun of for being fat all the time, right? And like
mm,
people thought at that time it was okay to do that. Now it's getting better, but I feel like I've noticed that boys are a little bit more make fun of each other, if that makes sense, like within
mm.
like each other's groups about each other's like weight, and like they actually look at each other about like muscles. When you get to high school, right? All of a sudden, they all start trying to get muscular because it's like is this peer pressure within like like the community and their friendships alone, but then
Yeah.
just older people in general, they're like, oh, you look skinny, or they'll compare you like a girl, like, oh, you're skinny like a
Mm,
girl, you know what I mean? It's
mm.
like, or you're tiny, it's like, oh, you need to eat more to
Yeah,
like build up and all that stuff, which is hard too, because it's like
yeah,
I know how it feels and it's like not nice, but like to keep getting it, you know what I mean? It's just too much.
yeah, definitely for sure. Yeah. I think it's body image and just beauty standards in general. There's still a long way that we need to go when it comes to addressing these things in our culture.
Oh, yes, for sure. And for weight wise, whether you're male or female, the worst thing someone can tell you is that, oh, you need to lose weight because you need to get married. And I
Yeah.
don't know if males get that, to be completely honest. I haven't heard it personally. Like a male has to lose weight in order to
I
find
think
someone to get married.
I have heard that. I have heard that with
You
some of
have
my
that?
cousins. Yeah.
And thing is, it's crazy because it's like I know I for a fact I got it, and it my parents said it, but not only just my parents, like other people that not even I like talk to on a daily basis. Someone just come up to my mom and tell me, and they're like, and I'm pretty sure if it's happening to males, it's the same conversation. It's like, oh, they're pretty or like they're good looking, but they need to lose weight because they're not good looking because they're
What?
fat.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I'm just like, and they're like, oh, no one will like marry someone that's fat, and I'm like, no, stop. And the thing is, it's like my logic, to be completely honest, is I understand there's that like first, oh, okay, we get attracted to the person that's like visually first and then everything's after. I get that, like, science, I guess. But at the end of the day, it's like if I'm overweight and someone doesn't want to be with me because I'm overweight, then why do I want to be with them? To be completely honest,
Exactly.
it's like it
Exactly.
makes no logical sense. It's like even if I was the skinniest person, right? What if
Mm.
later on I become overweight? And that means, so is that person just going to leave me then? Is that logic okay then? It's like then people are like, "Oh no, you're married, you're stuck." It's like you have to stick through it. You know what I mean? I'm like, it just doesn't logically make sense whatsoever. It's like it. it's once you're stuck, it's okay. But before that, you have options. You have options. But yeah,
That's so messed up,
it
honestly.
is. It is. And it's just like, there's not like a, I feel like because a lot of our parents come from arranged marriages, it's a lot of face value things that they only look at. How do they look? Or like, this is the first judgment things, but those first judgment things aren't going to get you anywhere, like in a marriage. It's like all the like things
Mm.
that are like deep. But
Yeah,
I feel like
exactly.
with females, there's that like, you have to look a certain way. You know what I mean? And the
Yeah,
thing I don't like the most on those like, um, the matrimony sites
yeah,
is for females. It's like always, I don't know if you've seen it. It's like the weedish and like the
yes.
this
Oh
thing in
my
the
goodness.
we do like because you're like you're comparing yourself to a plant, but it's just like for females, it's always good to be the lighter skin tone, right? And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Like, what is this logic? Because keep in mind, like I've seen very pretty people, all different colors, right? And it's
Mm.
like it has nothing to do with your skin tone, but there's this like image of like,
Mm.
oh, you have to look presentable, you have to look palm, you have to look a certain way when taking pictures and like, oh, putting it on the matrimony site so that people look at you a certain way.
Mm.
But I think for boys it's same, but it's more like because I've noticed that comment
Just
of,
hygiene, basic
yeah,
hygiene.
hygiene, basic hygiene, because it's like I like my husband has a beard, right? But it was funny because I remember like back in the day, it's like the matrimony sites, it's like people would judge boys if their beard was too long. It's like I'm like, what? It's like it's not logicking, or like if their talamudi was like to the pranderte, like kids have
Mm.
those like fashion kind of things. It's like, and the thing is I understood it, but then it's like, other people are like, why is the boy's hair like that? Why is his beard so long?
Yeah.
It's like
Or
it
why does
doesn't
he
look
have a
clean.
piercing? Or
Yeah,
why does he have
exact.
tattoos?
Oh, yes, the piercing thing. It's like I don't. I remember a long time ago, my cousin got a piercing, and then out loud, everyone's like, "What are you trying to be a girl?" It's like, all the kids were like, "What? Boo, boo!" It was like, because it's like, what does having a piercing
Yeah.
have to do with being like a girl? You know what I mean? Because it's like these are all accessories. It's like,
Mm.
and I feel like that comes with like even nail polish. Nowadays, I feel like anyone wears nail polish, right?
Yeah,
But
I
it's
see
like,
so many guys walking around with nail polish.
exactly. And it's like, if you think about it, it's just art. If you really like
Yeah.
break it down, like just like how we have like if someone has tattoos, if they have nail polish on or they color their hair, this is all like art. They're trying to express themselves. But it's like we say, oh, females only paint their nails. Males cannot. And I'm like, if you want to paint your nails, go paint your nails. It's like you want to color your hair, go color your hair. It's like
Yeah.
it's all this is just expression of yourself, which
Yeah.
is like not good to just isolate it to one, which on the boy side I feel like they don't have as much in terms of
Mm.
like creativity side. Like if a boy wants to draw or like they want to do like something arts and crafts, it's more of a that's a female task, whereas but a lot of these like things that boys do want to be involved in, they're shamed for because it's too female like, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Even if it's like musical instruments, if it's like playing the piano or something like that, those are always considered more feminine hobbies.
No, yeah. The one good thing is the piano is because Parli Spoonbul, like, you know what I mean, play the piano. So
Yeah.
then what's it called? I've seen that like boys, it's like equal for piano, but like as you're saying, like for instruments, it's like I usually see like here in America, like females play flutes. It's like I
Mm.
don't know, maybe it's the tone. Like, you know what I mean? It's like the lighter making noises instruments or like females, and then like more the bass tone or
Yeah.
males. But it's interesting. It's the like
Yeah.
how we our minds just separate everything. You know what I mean? Male, female, male, female.
Exactly, yeah. And I think going forward, it's it's really unfair that we've put these boxes for these genders. It would be so much more healthier if boys and girls just had the freedom or the feel comfortable to choose whichever hobby, even if it's a career. Because that's another thing also. Careers can also be like, oh, this is a boy career and this is a girl's career. Like boys can't really go into, for example, hairstyling or becoming a dancer or I don't know, working in marketing or things like that. Those are considered like more feminine jobs. Whereas if a girl is wanting to pursue like being a lawyer or a judge or something like that, or even if it's like in security or defense, being a police officer.
No, yeah, it's like as you said, when it's like things like hairstyling or even like being a nurse, right? I've heard that, like, because I feel like nursing is, we don't think about like, okay, when you say someone's a doctor, right? You can say male or female doctor, right? But then I don't know why, I don't know if it's common in your area, but like nurses, it's like stereotypically a female, right?
Yeah.
But really, it can be both male and female, right? It's a jodi. At the end of the day, it's all a jodi. It's like
Yeah.
paisa on jodi. But like in terms of hairstylists, it's very prevalent there. Hairstylists, makeup artists, like all those areas where we see, I guess, more heavily female, it people look at you sideways, like if you're trying to be that, or
Mm.
they assume something. Assume meaning like, your sexuality or something. And I'm like, whoa, 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 we don't need to do all that. It's like
Yeah.
just like if I'm a female and all of a sudden I'm just saying that like, those people that drill holes or like, blue collared work, like as a
Yeah.
female, like I wouldn't want to be judged for my sexuality just because I have a certain job. It's like
Exactly.
it's like people assume things just because you have a job, but at the end of the day, it's like that's just your interest. You know what I mean? And it's like your interest, and you're trying to get a job, and that's it. It's like nothing more deep than that. It's
Mm.
just hard. It's like, and people assume like, oh, okay, as an example, oh, you're a male, you wouldn't be able to do this. Like as an example, I've heard that for being a teacher, especially like younger elementary school teachers. It's
Mm.
like you associate like taking care of children with females.
Yeah.
So then people look a little sideways when it's like for younger children, younger children, that it's a male, right?
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
for females, it's like when you're doing, for instance, the police work, as you said, right? Or in the army, it's like, oh, but like females are frail. What can they do? That kind of
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
And it all comes down to like the people that have all these like sexist like assumptions that
Yeah.
what they do is they just apply that to everything. And then they put that insecurity onto everyone. And ugh, it's rough out here. People
Yeah.
just trying to work.
A job is a job. Just take what you
Right.
get. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, and I think this is going to be the last topic before we wrap up,
Mhm.
but oftentimes I feel like girls are encouraged to express their emotions. Girls are allowed to cry. They're allowed to show love and kindness and care towards other people. But when it comes to boys, on the other hand, boys are not allowed to cry. They're not allowed to show that they're vulnerable, that they're feeling upset or anything like that. Um, what do you think about that? Do you think that's something that you've noticed?
Yes, that is something that I've noticed. And I've noticed that almost every male, there hasn't been really a male that, like, for instance, if there's a sad moment or something happens, always female, especially myself, like, there's, especially when times of sadness, someone passes away, right? I've definitely noticed that there's like, the male has to stand there strong. They have to do
Mm.
that task, this task, right? And thing is, it's like, for me, it's hard because it's like, you also deserve to be sad. You can be sad. You can sit there and cry. It's like this, like, oh, you are the man. You have to be tough in this. You
Mm.
can't be sad. And what they're forced to do is, oh, go like without people realizing it. It's like, okay, go by yourself, be alone, and then be sad. But then
Yeah,
it's like, what are we actually creating? Like what environment are we creating? We're not creating a safe space for males either. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like they should be openly be able to be sad. Just like a female, they should be able to be sad, be mad, whatever they need to be. But I feel like a
yeah.
lot of people, and especially like, and I still think that today it's like it hasn't changed. Like I haven't seen like it, because it's like all the kids that are my age or younger, it's like still there. It's
Mm.
like where, okay, I have to be tough. I can't be sad. And if I am sad, it has to be in silence, you know?
Mm.
And it's not healthy, you know? And then what happens is, what we don't realize is that our actions eventually, when we have children and everything, our kids are watching that, you know?
Exactly,
Because
yeah.
I've noticed that people that are, when I say people, like meaning males that may show more expression, their dads also show expression, you know?
Mm.
It's like, because boys are going off of what that male figure is also doing, you know? Because though we don't believe in like gender standards and everything, in life we look at that representative in our life, whether that be our mom or dad, you know what I mean? Even if we're male or female, right? We look at
Mm.
them to be like, what are you doing? And that's what I should be doing, you know?
Yeah,
And I feel
exactly.
like a lot of boys are like, oh, my dad doesn't do like that, so I shouldn't do like that, right? And thing is, it's we don't realize, like, as parents or as like people in general, what we're doing is younger generation is also watching, you know?
Mm.
So it's like they're like, oh, this is what I have to do. This is what I have to be. Even it's not like anyone's saying, out loud. Like, yes, there are times that people will make fun of you, but actually a lot of it is invisible pressure that like we're watching other people, and then we put that expectation on ourselves, you know what I mean? Based off of that expectation of what we've seen others do. And it's
Mm.
just it
Even if it's like
yeah.
something like silly, like if you're watching a movie and you're at a really emotional scene, I feel like guys don't tend to show their emotions, or if it's a scene where everybody else is crying, it's usually the guys who are the only ones not crying. Or if, for example, like if your friend is going through something and that person's really, really sad and they're tearing up or whatever, I don't know if a male friend would also tear up alongside with them, because I know for us females, if your friend is crying, you're gonna start crying too. But I don't feel like they have that space to just be vulnerable with each other in front of other people as well, even if it's something silly like watching a movie.
No, yeah, my
Yeah.
husband makes fun of me all the time because I'll just be like, something sad will happen and like you'll see tears like falling. I haven't seen my husband actually uh cry or be sad for a movie, but in regards to, like, as you said, like if a friend is crying, right? I'm gonna
Mm.
immediately cry, right? But what
Yeah.
I've noticed with, like, for instance, my friends or cousin or my husband, their face will get sad. So you can see
Mm.
that their face is like, like, there's like sadness there, but they can't go that extra, like something in them just stops. Like
Mm.
for us girls, like I've noticed it's like some girl, like not some girl, but like if our friend is going through something hard and like they're crying, we, like, I don't know if the word is empathetic or sympathetic, but we have that, and then it's just like we start crying too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
males, I thus far I haven't I've seen them get sad, like me, but it never gets to that next level.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like we all know, like, everyone's capable of crying, you know what I mean, going through sadness.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know if it's because they once again feel that they need to be tough, or it's a situation of I feel sad, but maybe crying, I don't need to cry, like compared to like girls do.
Yeah. I still feel crying is sort of seen as a sign of weakness for males, especially if you're crying in front of your other male friends or male cousins or whatever. I don't think it's normalized as much as it should be in our community.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I think for females, like, I'll be honest, I'm a person that if I get overwhelmed with so much like emotion or even anger, I
Mm.
will cry. It's like my first thing, cry. Even if it's a happy moment, right? It's like, oh, something I accomplished, I cry. I guess it's just like I have a tolerance of emotions, and then it's just it's like crying. But it's like for boys, I've noticed it's like the only time I've noticed, even like within their own group of friends, like that they cry is if someone passed away, right?
Mm.
But even that, they're not crying in front of their friends. They're with their family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the only time, and it's just like, and maybe it's boys process things differently. That could be 1000% it, but it. I do think that a lot of the times boys do want to express themselves, they just can't, you know what I mean, or it's something to do in
Yeah.
private,
Yeah.
and that pressure is there. It Because it's like we're not made equal. There definitely are people that want to express their emotions, just can't, or they feel like
Mm.
they can't, or it's not an environment to, because that's how they've been taught, or like just mentally just like, oh, okay, my friends don't do this, my friends are all macho, so like I have to stay macho, you know what I mean?
Mm.
But I
Yeah.
feel like once one expresses their emotion, then I don't think people realize that maybe it becomes a safe space for all of them. Where, like,
Yeah.
as a friend group, then they're like, oh, okay, I can also be in this situation. If I
Yeah.
can just go to my friends and maybe cry it out. But I think it's like someone, without realizing, has to break that, or
Yeah.
it'll just continue to be the same. I mean, which if they're happy with, that's totally fine. But that's up to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. But like you said, it takes that one person to to break that cycle, which
Exactly.
it's not easy to do either, but it's worth it.
Right.
Yeah. So, going forward, what are some of the things that you think you would like to start seeing differently when it comes to how the next generation, how do you think we should be bringing up our boys and girls? The same way, differently? What do you think we should be doing differently?
I think boys and girls should be treated equal in terms of just doing chores in general, how they're treated. And it's like, if you're going to call one, you got to call the other. It's not, okay, just because you're a girl, and like those kind of stipulations are there. But on top of that, I feel like raising children in terms of not even like, okay, for instance, a girl gets a doll as a boy gets a car, like the toy car, as a gift. You know what I mean? It's like just children, let them be children, let them do. But as a parent or as you raise them, you have to treat them equally. Of course, every child is different, right? So there's those kind of things.
Yeah.
But in terms of society's like expectation, you know, a child, like if you need, for instance, throw away the trash, tell the girl to throw away the trash. That's fine. Or it's like if you need to cut the vegetables, okay, make it everyone thing, right?
Yeah.
And thing is that also comes with actions, right? It's like you can't just be like, oh, say this and that. You also have to show it as a couple too. It's
Yeah,
like
100%. Yeah.
it's like, for instance, my husband and also my dad, it's like I've never seen them like, oh, this is, as I said, I'm an only child, but it's like my dad does the laundry, like it's
Mhm.
not, or chai, or makes chai, same thing with my husband. There's no problem in that. It's like more like, oh, who's busy, okay, the other person will just do it. And thing is,
Yeah.
those things naturally, when your kids see it too, they're like, oh, I have to do this too, because it's like
Yeah.
you can say everything, but a lot of times kids watch and learn rather
Yes.
than
Yes.
listen and learn. So it's also showing in action that you can do as you like, do anything if you want to, but don't put any limitation on just because they're like a certain gender. It's
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
you shouldn't do it.
Yeah. That's actually really good point. Yeah, we should be treating our sons and daughters as individuals, like allow them to pursue their own individual passions, hobbies, skills, and address whatever weaknesses they have that's individual to them, but not to see them for their gender. So whatever it may be, let them just be themselves, and not, push them into a certain box or try to make them fit into a certain mold. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So this conversation really shows that so many of the so-called rules that we grew up with were sort of made with good intentions. They were kind of just ideas that was considered safe, proper, or respectable. But it's on us, the new generation of Malayalis, to question whether those differences are actually better for the future. Because when both boys and girls grow up with the same kind of freedom, the same kind of trust, and the same kind of expectations, we're changing the definition of what it means to grow up in a Malayali family. And we're trying to make it more fairer, kinder, and stronger. So that's all from us today. Thank you so much, Sneha, for joining and for sharing your experiences. It was really, really nice having you on the podcast.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And to everyone who's listening, if this episode has reminded you of your own childhood or made you think about how things could change or should change, please do share it with a friend or a sibling or cousins or whoever and start that conversation. Please also don't forget to follow, rate, or review the show because it really does help the podcast grow. Thank you for listening and bye.